It used to be extremely normal to stand up and exit a movie theater as soon as the credits began to roll at the end of any given movie. These days, however, you'd be a fool to get up and walk out until the credits had finished. It's not a new thing for movie credits to include additional scenes or hidden bits of information, but it's certainly a far more common occurrence in modern cinema. It's always worth sticking around for the credits to see if any fun references, Easter eggs, or clues are hidden in there. And some even come at the beginning. This video is going to take a look at some examples of those things. Here are 10 important clues hidden in the credit scenes.
As Guardians, it's an honor.
Thor: The Dark World. In the mid-credits scene of 2013's Thor: The Dark World, Sif, along with Volstagg of the Warriors 3, visited the Collector in his museum to entrust the Infinity Stone known as the Ether into his care. It was the first time we had met Benicio del Toro's version of the cosmic being,
Tannelir Tivan, the Collector,
also known as Tannelir Tivan, and the first glimpse we'd had at his collection of rare interstellar fauna, relics, and species. Among his collection was a cocoon that, to the untrained eye, could have been a throwaway item, but it was actually the cocoon of comic book character Adam Warlock, hinting toward the character's potential inclusion in future movies, namely Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Avengers: Infinity War. Cloverfield. 2008's Cloverfield was a found-footage movie featuring a giant monster running rampant in New York City. The creature damaged buildings, killed countless people, and even hurled the Statue of Liberty's head through the city. The military attacked the creature, an assault that supposedly concluded with the hammer-down protocol being implemented.
Oh my god, they hit it! They just hit it right now! Look at you guys, they just hit it!
Which was assumed to involve something as powerful as a nuclear or neutron bomb being dropped on it. The credits rolled as Hammer Down began, and viewers believed it killed the creature along with the movie's protagonist. But a clue at the end of the movie's credits suggested otherwise. A whisper is heard that, when played backwards, is a man saying, "It's alive." Could this mean the creature will return? We'd like to think so. Finding Nemo. When it comes to Disney movies, there are often clues to suggest that they all take place in the same Disney universe. Characters from other movies make cameos in the background, or the same item appears in different movies, and so forth. 2003's Finding Nemo was no different, and one such clue that backs up the theory appears in the movie's credits. Just as the special thanks section of the credits start to roll, none other than Mike from Monsters, Inc. swims across the screen, wearing a mask and snorkel, suggesting that his movie and Finding Nemo take place in the same expanded universe.
Come back.
He's not coming back. We offended him.
Maybe a different dialect.
Prometheus. 2012's Alien prequel Prometheus was a pretty enjoyable movie, but even the most eagle-eyed fan of the Alien franchise would have done well to spot a particularly discreet inclusion in the credits. In fact, it comes at the very end of the credits, where there is a Wayland Corp logo, Wayland Corp being a multinational corporation in the Alien franchise that specializes in technology, health, transportation, energy, electronics, terraforming, security, and cybernetics. Under the logo is the date 10/11/12 and a web address, waylandindustries.com/timeline. If you visit the site, it takes you to a timeline of the company's major landmarks and events. Pretty neat. Godzilla. For this entry, involving 2014's Godzilla reboot, we're looking at the movie's opening credits, rather than the end credits. While the names of all the people involved in the movie are appearing on the screen, there's a load of fleeting, redacted text that is quickly covered up. But if you watch the credits in slow motion, it actually tells the entire tale of the titular monster and his fellow giant beasts. We can't fit it all in this video, but it essentially explains that there are ancient monsters in the depths of the Pacific that are nigh impossible to kill. It also explains that the government knew about them, and that they might just be men in rubber suits. Final Destination. Now we come to our second set of opening credits, and this time it's those from 2000's supernatural horror classic, Final Destination. Final Destination was unique, as the antagonist of the movie was the concept of death itself. And the opening credits gave away a number of clues regarding how death would go about its job in the movie. Various images are shown, such as a guillotine, a hanging skull, and a knife, each of which represents the manner in which the characters go on to die in the movie itself. In those particular cases, the deaths of Billy, Todd, and Miss Luton. The credits don't go as far as saying which of the characters will die via the methods hinted at, but they undoubtedly hint toward the deaths occurring. The Walking Dead. Like the opening credits of the aforementioned Final Destination, back in 2013 there was a theory that the opening credits of TV's The Walking Dead may have had some hidden clues in it, and it made perfect sense in hindsight. For example, Andrew Lincoln's name appeared next to Rick Grimes' sheriff badge lying in the dirt, symbolizing Rick's moral struggles during season 3. Sarah Wayne Callies and Laurie Holden's names appear next to 2 shell casings, and both of their characters ended up being killed by bullets to their heads. There was also clues next to the names of Norman Reedus, Stephen Yeun, Chandler Riggs, and others. We don't have time to cover them all now, but it's worth reading about them if you're a fan of the show.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
The Avengers. In the mid-credits scene of 2012's The Avengers, the Other, the commander of the defeated Chitauri army, reported back to his superior in a remote location in space. He explains to the mysterious being that humans were not to be messed with, and that to challenge them is to court death. At that point, his superior turned to face the camera and smiled, revealing himself as a large, purple humanoid in a golden helmet. To some people, this being's identity was a mystery, but to those in the know about Marvel's comic books, it was obviously Thanos. This was a clue that the villain, also known as the Mad Titan, would be the big bad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise going forward. He has, of course, since appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy and the mid-credits scene of Avengers Age of Ultron, and we're all excited to see him again in Avengers Infinity War. Ghostbusters. At the end of 2016's Ghostbusters reboot, after the all-female titular team have defeated the movie's main villain Rowan, the credits roll and one final scene plays, in which the team are sitting in their new headquarters, a disused firehouse. In the scene, Leslie Jones's Patty Tolan is listening to a recording of some kind of ghostly incident, and she asks her fellow Ghostbusters if they know who or what Zool is. Zool was, of course, the main villain in the original Ghostbusters movie from 1984.
Can I talk to Dana?
There is no Dana, only Zool.
And we have to assume that this is a clue that the godly being will also be the villain in the potential sequel to the rebooted version.
Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has only recently been released, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers, we advise you to leave now. At the end of the movie, Carl Mordo, who had previously been allied with the titular sorcerer, walks away from him in disgust after he defied nature to defeat Dormammu and in turn, Caecilius and his zealots. In the movie's mid-credits scene, Mordo is seen approaching Jonathan Pangborn, a paraplegic who had been healed using magic, and removed the magic from his body, leaving him crippled again. Mordo then said that there were too many sorcerers in the world, which presumably at least is a clue that he will be Doctor Strange's next villain in the Sorcerer Supreme's solo sequel. Thanks for watching our video about 10 important clues hidden in the credit scenes.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Did you enjoy this video? Which other movie's credit scenes had an important clue hidden within it? Have your say in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more great videos like this one.